My friends, you're about to see how to earn 16% APR on your internet computer protocol that you've staked, and to use that internet computer protocol you've staked to vote on governance and participate in deciding how ICP works and the changes made to the network. This will serve as a comprehensive tutorial of the network nervous system here, and is a result of me learning how to use this for months. And I'm embarrassed to say I just figured out today, after using this for months, exactly how to earn the 16+% and actually withdraw it. And I found the very best way to use this. In my opinion, this is what I'm doing myself, and I'm showing you how I did it. What you need to do to get the 16% annualized estimated rewards, you need to lock up your ICP for 8 years and not even start dissolving it, but just leave it. And once you click dissolve, then it's 8 years from there. And then you then you have to vote on proposals that modify and update the internet computer protocol through the network nervous system. I'll show you a way to make that super easy by following other neurons that will allow you to just set it once and forget it. The way I see that's ideal to do this is, while the price is at all-time lows now, which is what I've done, is absolutely load up like crazy. Then when the price pumps, just sell these rewards and hold that principal forever and take passive income every month while participating in the governance and having a stake in the entire ecosystem. And don't even touch the principal, just leave it there indefinitely, locked up, getting the maximum voting rewards. And to me, this looks like an absolute dream scenario if you have a little bit you want to put in today that could become a lot in the future. But you have to do everything on this just correctly, or you will not be earning these kind of rewards, as I found out the way I was doing it. And you might be hesitant to lock up for 8 years. Now, some of the tokens, you don't have to lock them up that long. All of this is all of this will be done in my neuron staking. For example, on some of the tokens on ICP, you can lock them up, and they don't even allow you to lock them up that long. And you can earn on internet computer at a lower rate if you want to lock up for, say, a year or a year and a half, and then dump everything at the top of the bull market. You can do that, but that's not going to be the best long-term strategy. So if you look at this, if you want to see this, you have to go to nns.ic0.app, which you can get to off the internetcomputer.org website. Go up to participate, then click on staking and governance, and that'll take you to the network nervous system. Well, it'll take you to the information page. It'll explain to you what it is. And then this will take you, when you click go to the NNS, it will take you to nns.ic0.app. Now I'll explain a little bit more about what it is, and then we'll jump into it. The internet computer protocol has a network nervous system that is like a brain that controls the entire network through voting on proposals. The network just keeps running as it is, and until it's changed by proposals. Now, there's proposals that update things every day, like, the various rates of cycles to the XDR or whatever it is. So there's proposals that make adjustments to it every day, and this automated governance is how it is run, which is really cool. And everyone who's staking in a network nervous system with as little as just one ICP can participate in the governance, which is awesome. Because what if you only have $10? You can participate and earn those same rewards as well, which is, it's amazing. And there's almost no gas fees for all of it. It's so much better than anything else out there. So what this takes you to is, when you log into the network nervous system, you'll have to have an internet identity. Your internet identity is, you create that to give you access to this. And your internet identity works by using the cryptographic systems your computer or your phone already have in place. And that allows you to, for example, use facial recognition on your iPhone, or fingerprint if you're old school like me. And my fingerprint then unlocks access to this. On Windows or Apple Mac, if you've got a password, it doesn't actually use your password itself. It uses your locking and unlocking of your device directly to unlock your internet identity, which is super cool. You get a recovery phrase with it as well in case you lose access to your devices. And what you can do if you've got, for example, a PC and a phone, you can sign up on your PC, then go to the same website on your phone and authorize your phone as a device. Then if you lose access to your PC and you've still got your phone, you can authorize a new PC. Or if you reformatted like I did, you can use your phone to authorize additional devices. This makes it hard to lose access, and easy to get into it without having to put some big password in. This is amazing technology. Just the decentralized identity by itself is a big deal, and that's just one part of Internet Computer. So once you've done that, then you'll see your different accounts in here, and you can make different accounts if you want to put, for example, have a savings account and a checking or whatever you want to do. You can make different accounts so that you can access your money or have your funds split up like that. But what you need to do to make a Neuron is load up your first account with Internet Computer. And to do that, it's on most exchanges. You can buy off of Internet Computer off an exchange and then transfer it to this, whatever your wallet gives you for this address right here. And you'll need to do that before you can stake a Neuron. The process is the same with these other tokens as well. And I'll show you how to do this with a token while we're at it. So, and all these tokens, these are all tokens that have successfully launched through proposals on the Internet Computer. And to me, these are all potential altcoin gems that could really go off when Internet Computer grows. But first, let's show you how to do the staking. And in order to do that, once you load up with ICP here, then go over to My Neuron Staking. My Neuron Staking will take you to the neurons you have. And this is where you get into this by clicking on Stake Neurons. Let me show you what this looks like and explain each part of this to begin. So to begin, you'll have a neuron. A neuron you could think of like a brain cell in the network. And the voting power is what you earn rewards on. And the voting power, when I vote on something that happens, a proposal, my voting power is how much of a say I have in the system. So you get more voting power by locking your ICP up for longer, and that's where the voting rewards come from, is the amount of voting power you apply to proposals then generates what's called maturity. Maturity, you could think of it like unborn ICP, and this way for taxes, when you have maturity, but you haven't turned that into ICP yet, you don't have to pay taxes on it until you actually spawn a neuron, which will turn your maturity earned from voting rewards into a new neuron. It'll pop it up like a little baby neuron in here, and then that will automatically dissolve within a week. And then once that's dissolved, you can move it back into your tokens here and spend it like you would anything else. And that's when you convert the maturity. The maturity is converted into ICP. And that is converted at a rate between 95% to 105%. For example, if you have 100 maturity, you could get at a minimum 95 ICP, at a maximum 105 ICP, depending on current market conditions. You can always look on the dashboard at Internet Computer to understand more details, to see the current voting participation. For example, 57% is the current level of voting participation. So this is the power of all neurons versus the amount that are actually voting. And you can see how much is staked on the entire network as well. Right now, there's 200,000 neurons on the network. Total voting power is 452 million. So if I've got my neuron here, I can see I have 1,500 out of the entire voting power of the network right here, which that's actually a significant percentage. I have like 1/4 of 100,000th or so of the total voting power on the network, which is pretty cool given this only represents a few $1,000s invested. If you look at this, this shows you the voting power that Dfinity and the Internet Computer Association have in here as well. Now, this will show you how much ICP you're going to get per 100 maturity. So right now, 100 maturity equals 96 ICP. You can also look at all the tokenomics of how this plays out as well. So right now, the voting rewards function, the theoretical annualized inflation rate in voting proposals in maturity is currently 7.45%. However, that's not the actual inflation rate of the circulating supply because it's delivered in maturity. So right now, the circulating supply is only actually inflated about 3% in the last year because most of the voting rewards are sitting in maturity, which is a very smart system for people who, let's say, die and don't give anybody access and just leave it locked up indefinitely. Their rewards will just indefinitely accrue, but they'll never be converted to ICP and be added to the supply, which is really smart. Now, this is, or I've staked some of mine. You can also stake your maturity once you get it to snowball or compound your interest in your voting power. If you look here, you can see that 29 million ICP have been minted all time from voting rewards, which that right now is about 5% or so of the supply. So that's actually pretty good, which to me indicates there's a lot of opportunity for this to grow, and it's a great time to participate. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stake, let's stake 600 more ICP right here. That at the present price, that'll be a couple $1,000s more. So I'm going to stake this and show you how this works in real time as I make a new node, and I'll even show you how I merge these two together to make one neuron. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the source. So I clicked on stake neurons. I click stake neurons. I put the amount I want to stake in, which is 600 ICP, or about $2,000. So I click on create. Now nothing's really happened yet because I've just clicked on create, and you can see the transaction fee is absolutely tiny to do this. So I've got my neuron staked, but I haven't added a dissolve delay or anything in it. So I essentially, I've created like an empty neuron right now that's not really doing anything. So if we click on skip and I click on follow neurons, like this is something I can immediately unlock if I wanted to. I could just take this right back out and put it in my supply, in my wallet. Now you'll notice the 600 is taken out of my main wallet, it's put in my neuron staking, but I'm not earning voting rewards on this at all right now. So in order to earn voting rewards, what I need to do is set a dissolve delay. And when I set a dissolve delay, this prevents me from unlocking that neuron and putting the tokens back in until the neuron has been fully dissolved. Now, if I update the delay on this, this will lock that 600 ICP up for 8 years, and it will not start unlocking until I begin dissolving it. So we'll show you how that works right now. So I'll click update delay. And part of me is like, no, don't lock your money up. It's $2,000. What if you lose it? I'm going to click confirm and go past that little voice because it's possible I will get thousands of dollars of voting rewards out of this alone in the next bull market. So now this ICP is locked up. It is in there. Nobody can help me get this out in any time less than 8 years. Now, if I wanted to take this out, what I would do is click on Start Dissolving, which will kill off my age bonus. So voting power is calculated by the amount of ICP times your age bonus, which goes up to a maximum of 25%, which is approximately 4 years to get that fully. So you get about 6% or so a year. So now when I click Stop Dissolving, I had no age bonus. Now, 8 years from now, I will be able to take this out and put it back in my wallet. But I want to stop dissolving, because as soon as you start dissolving, you lose your age bonus, and once you get below 6 months on dissolving, you don't even earn voting rewards. So if you're thinking you would just put it in for about a year and then start dissolving it immediately, you only actually get voting rewards for 6 months. So now I've stopped dissolving it. You'll notice my 2 neurons, they have 8 years left on these. And now I will continue to get an age bonus. For every day that I leave this in, I will start getting a little bit of an age bonus, which will increase my voting power. I have the maximum voting power from having it locked up for 8 years, which doubles the ICP into voting power. And then I can get an additional 25% for leaving it in here untouched for 4 years. Now, where you actually start earning, what happens now is every time I vote on something, I will get new maturity. So with maturity, you can stake your maturity, which will add it to the principal, but that will also lock it up with the principal as well. That's like locking in an entirely new neuron, which means you can compound your rewards and really blow up your voting power if you want. Or what you can do is leave your maturity there and click on Spawn Neuron. When you click on Spawn Neuron, it will take your maturity, turn it into a separate neuron for 7 days. And then 7 days later, you can, it will be dissolved, and you will now have ICP that you can use in your tokens. And that's where you cash out your rewards. If you don't want to cash anything out, or if you want to take the maturity you're getting for now to just snowball it, you can click on Automatically Stake New Maturity. On the first neuron I created, I staked the first 14 ICP that I got in maturity and just staked it. But I was just staking, I had a dissolve delay set to about a year, which you don't earn nearly as much voting rewards. In the last 6 months, you don't get anything at all. Until I did the math and I realized I might as well just lock my ICP up for 8 years, not touch it, and then just constantly take the voting rewards out and sell those, and wait to sell those until the price pumps up to where I think the top is. So if you have like a really small amount and just want it to snowball, you can just click Automatically Stake New Maturity, and that will make it bigger and bigger. And you can turn this off at any time to start earning voting rewards. You can also click on Participate in Neurons Fund. The Neurons Fund will take your maturity and invest it in these token sales. And in the tokens, and then there's all kinds of interesting things that can happen with that. I'm not going to do that because I want to manually pick on each of these launch pads. I want to pick each of these launch pads and decide exactly what my commitment is going to be to each of them myself. But if you want an easier experience, you could click on Participate in Neurons Fund, which will make things more interesting. And there's a whole nother video to do about Participate in Neurons Fund. What I'm doing is just not using either of these, and then I'm stockpiling the rewards until the price goes at least to $30, if not $50 or $100. And then I'll sell my rewards, and then enjoy the money, hang on for the next, get ready to stockpile more for the next bear market, and use this as both passive income and as my opportunity to be fully invested, a stakeholder in ICP. Now, the way I've set this up so far, I will not earn anything at all the way I've set this up right now, unless I manually vote on proposals. And I'll show you how to do that right now. If you want to vote manually on proposals, just go over to Vote Proposals, and you can go over and click on a proposal, and then you can click on, you can look at your neurons right here. Now, what you'll notice is I actually merged my different neurons at the time the proposal was created. So I merged a bunch of smaller neurons before making this tutorial. So right now, I only have 430 voting power that I can actually apply to this proposal, because my neuron was not created I had a bunch of neurons dissolving. It was a crap show, and I figured out how to do it properly before showing you how to do this. So I only have 400 and some voting power, but I can manually apply that voting power here. Now, the adopt is pretty heavy on this, and I don't know exactly what we're voting for here, but for the sake of this tutorial, I'll click on adopt, and I'll click yes, I'm sure. And what it'll do is take all my voting power and apply that to this proposal, which will put more in the adopt side and make it harder for it not to pass. So now I've taken all the voting power I had and applied it to that proposal. However, if you do not manually vote for each proposal you can possibly vote for, you will not get any rewards. If you want to set this up completely passively, I'll show you how to do that now. So what you can do is take your neuron, like this new one, and you click on follow neurons. And when you click on follow neurons, if you look at your neuron like a brain cell, this will tell your brain cell, hey, I'm just going to do whatever this other brain cell does. So this will follow another neuron on all of its votes. And one way you can do this is to do, you can follow neurons for everything except governance and SNS neurons fund. And then there's two separate ones for this. So this is a catch-all you can do to follow for everything else. So if you click on add followee, you can pick from all these right here. Or what I've been doing so far is I've just been following the Dfinity Foundation on its votes. Because the Dfinity Foundation is the nonprofit that's primarily been responsible for launching and like the lead developer on Internet Computer, I figure they're probably in a great position to decide what to vote yes for and what to vote no for. Now, in the short term, this is, to me, the easiest way to guarantee I get voting rewards and I'm participating in the ecosystem. However, in the future, if I want to get more involved with governance myself, then I'm right now figuring if there's anybody I'd rather follow their neuron versus Dfinity. For now, what I'm doing is just following Dfinity. And to me, this is a good way to get started if you really don't know what you're doing and you want to make sure you earn voting rewards and you're participating. You click on follow Dfinity on everything, and then that will ensure I'm getting voting rewards. However, it's possible that this ecosystem, and there's so much depth to it, it's possible that perhaps Dfinity doesn't vote on certain proposals, or it's possible there's higher voting rewards you can get following other neurons. So I'm researching that right now, and if I find a neuron I'd rather follow, or if I want to just do everything manually, I'm considering doing that for the future, but the easiest way to start is to just follow the Dfinity Foundation. Now, my neuron is set up. You need to follow these three at a minimum because all except governance, SNS, and neurons fund means that SNS and neurons fund, you need to manually follow on both of those too. Now, my neuron is set up where it's every new proposal that comes along, however Dfinity votes, my neuron will automatically vote with Dfinity, and then I will get maturity for that. Now, here's another feature. If you set up several different neurons like me, and you want to make things as simple as possible, they've made a merge neurons feature. So what you can do with your merge neurons feature is, if you started out like I did, and got cute and made all these different neurons, 10 ICP here, 20 ICP here, I'm going to set 10 for 8 years. If you want to do all of that, now after a time where you've been inactive, it will log you out. So I will log in over here in the background and we'll continue on. If you made a bunch of different neurons, it makes it it can be more challenging to make sure you're voting on everything. And yes, you can vote with all the neurons at once on proposals. To me, having one neuron is ideal. You can also split your neurons as well, but I want to just have mine all in one neuron for simplicity, and I just want to leave my ICP locked up indefinitely. It's more complicated having different neurons, And therefore, what I want to do is use the merge neurons tool. So I'm going to use the merge neurons tool. Now, the first neuron you click will be sent into the second neuron, which means you will lose things like age bonuses can be lost if you do this. So if you've got huge amounts in several different neurons, it might be worth it to keep them. I just consolidated all mine, and I had all mine dissolving like a total noob. So now I'm going to take this first one and stick this into the second one. We're going to click on merge neurons, and my age is 9 minutes. And this one has an age of 4 days on here, so it's not a huge difference. And then we'll click confirm merge on here. And this simplifies things. So if you create a new neuron, now I've got everything in one single neuron. And now what I can do, once you've already staked some, let's go ahead and lock away another few $100s for years. If you've already staked once, watch how fast you can do this. So now I want to take another 100 ICP. And, 1,300, that's good, but let's stick 100 more in. And we're going to put 100 more ICP in here. Now, once you've already got one neuron, watch how easy this is to use the merge neurons feature to add more. So what I'm going to do is skip and not even do anything with that. But don't screw your order up on this. So now that I've got this new 100 ICP, this could be instantly unlocked and go right back into my balance if I wanted to. When you get a neuron you can unlock, then you can send that right back there into your wallet. So if I click on disperse, I click continue, confirm and send, this is going to go right back into my wallet. So if you pull a set of neuron, you're like, oh my god, no, I can't commit. All right, so it goes back in your wallet. So now I really do want to commit to put another 100 in. And yes, I just paid a tiniest fraction of a cent in fees. I mean, this network has the fees of Solana, but it does so much more. It's amazing. So we click on take a moment. So now I'm creating another neuron. What I'm going to do with creating this neuron is I'm going to skip this, and we're going to skip that. So now what I'm going to do is merge neurons. I'm going to click merge neurons, and since this one is not locked, it can't be merged. So what I need to do is lock this for a little bit. So let's put the minimum dissolve delay on here a little bit more. We'll click on update delay. Now you'll notice I only got, out of 100 ICP, I only got 108 voting power, locking it up for 248 days. So if you, for example, if at the height of the bull market you sold all your maturity, or you wanted to take all your maturity and lock that into another neuron just for like a year so you could earn more rewards, then take it out for the next, during the bear, and then take it out during the next bull, you could do that. But the voting rewards are so much smaller, you might as well just have one neuron. So now I go to merge neurons, I click this first neuron, then we click the second one, we're going to merge neurons, and it's going to just stick all that in here. You see how it's going to do that? It's just going to stick this one in there. It's going to continue to have the 8-year dissolve delay. And this is an irreversible action. So if you F it up, there's no going back. And now it's stuck that 100 more ICP in here. And this is nice because now I automatically have all my neurons I'm following. And it's super easy if I want to add some more to my main one. I just have this one neuron, and anytime I stick a few more tokens in here, I just merge that into my main one. And now the age bonus, if this accumulates a significant age bonus and I want to take another neuron out sooner, I might do that. But if you're in the process of setting it up, it's not going to be that noticeable. Let's go over and do some other things you can do in the network nervous system. So one of the questions I've gotten in my Discord a lot is, Jerry, I use the launch pad and I put into things like I put into Nuance and Boom DAO, but then you go to your tokens and it's like, wait, where are my Nuance tokens, man? I just put into this, where are they? Well, when you do one of these canisters, when you use one of these launch pads, you get your tokens are given to you in staked neurons, and it looks just like this. And one of the neurons will be unlocked. So then I can immediately click on disperse, and that will go straight to my wallet. So now I've got those tokens unlocked in my wallet. So now that's how I got 20% of my tokens in my wallet for both of these. Now on each of these, they have their own voting and their own voting rewards. Now, manually going in to vote for every proposal on every one of these projects is certainly the ideal way to do it. But if you don't have time to go in and review every project, these unfortunately cannot be merged either right now. So you can merge ICP neurons, but unfortunately you can't merge these other ones. So with these all have dissolve delays that work just like ICP does, where these don't even start dissolving until I click on dissolve on them. And right now I'm not getting voting rewards on any of these. But what you can do on these, I can increase my delay on these as well. So for example, on this Boom DAO one, I want to increase the delay on this because what you'll notice, I already got 54 more Boom DAO tokens by just voting on a few proposals. So what I want to do is increase my delay on these Boom DAO ones to the max. So, and on the Boom DAO ones, it's only 2 years. So this will now give me a lot more voting power, and I'll get a lot more Boom tokens given to me in maturity. So I'm going to go on all of these Boom tokens and increase my delay to the maximum. And this will give me a lot more voting rewards. I mean, almost doubling my voting power, and it's still just a 2-year lockup. So I've got all these now on maximum delay. And if I want to actually get anything out of the token, I'll just take it and cash out little bits of voting rewards. And yes, while many new altcoins will go to zero, the biggest profits you're going to make are generally long-term if you're in a quality project. So now I've got all my Boom DAO locked up for 2 years. My voting power is drastically higher, so I'm going to get way more maturity. And what's cool is now I can actually disperse this maturity. So I'll take all this maturity out that I earned from voting rewards and click on confirm. And then these tokens, now this creates a taxable event, and this is dispersing. So this will be there in 7 days. So it's not there yet. And I can disperse all of this maturity right now. And I will get this in about 7 days. So this will give me a few dollars of Boom tokens. This is how, once you've got your maturity, you can get that out of there. And I might as well just take all of these and disperse it. Then I can put it on an exchange for liquidity if I want to. And then I just leave, I disperse all of these, and I leave the principal locked up. So I just leave the principal locked up, and I can disperse the voting rewards. Now, with these Boom DAO, with the Boom DAO tokens and with all the other tokens, you don't actually, you have to vote separately for these. So in order to do this, what you need to do is get a neuron you can vote on with this. So what I've got on mine, right now I had all of these neurons following my own neuron, but that's not very efficient. So what Boom DAO's done, they have their neuron ID right here. So if you're participating in a project that has its own SNS launch on here, what you can do, you can put the neuron in to follow it. You can put it in on all topics, click on add followee, put the neuron ID on, and click on follow neuron. So now whenever Boom DAO makes a proposal, my neurons, I use the other 3 and followed the 1, and then this 1 will now follow them. So now all the Boom DAO proposals that come up in the future, my vote will follow their vote, which makes complete sense, especially on an early stage project. In most cases, like, wouldn't I want to vote along the lines of the development team? However, I have the ability to change this anytime. For example, if one of the projects, I decide I don't like what the development team's doing, I want to vote the other way, then I can always take that off. Or I could even find some contrarian who always votes the other way and vote with them. The idea is you want to make your voting, you want to always be participating in voting, especially on tokens, because I got big rewards on those Boom DAO proposals because most of the people holding Boom that had participated in the sale, I think based on the rewards I got for my first few votes, a lot of people were not voting on the proposals. So you always want to make sure with tokens that you're voting on the proposals they have. And you check the proposals based on the token. So right now, Nuance, I just got my neurons there. They don't have any proposals. These are the proposals for Boom DAO that I voted on. This one, these have all been executed already. So these are past ones that I voted on, and you can go back and look at the proposal if you'd like to see. This is actually, that's on Catalyze. These are the past proposals for Catalyze. If you click on Boom DAO, these are the proposals. This one says it's open right here. Now because, so when I click on Adopt, now I can cast my votes for this. And what's nice is if you're following, you can always go in and manually vote as well. So now all my neurons voted for this proposal. And you can see these proposals are the ones that have been executed already. So I need to get my Nuance set up to automatically follow their neuron for simplicity in case I miss a vote. And the final thing we'll talk about inside the network nervous system is launch pads. So on launch pads, these are, on the launch pad, you see SNS launches or service nervous system launches. These are tokens that have had proposals like this. They've had proposals on ICP pass to list them as a token that will then be a part of the network nervous system. So their token, all of these had proposals that first were passed by ICP voters with ICP token holders. Then those get in here as launch pads. And then you can click on participate to take some of your ICP from your wallet and then stick it into a launch pad. And then if it passes and is funded, then you will get those given to you as neurons once the once the proposal is successful. And if you see the participate button is grayed out, that means you are on a blocked IP address. So each proposal chooses countries. Some don't, like Boom DAO did not choose to block any countries, which I thought was great. Some of these proposals choose to block IPs from certain countries. If you sign in on a device that is not on an IP from your country, which you can do by physically moving countries, or you can do by getting on another network, like a VPN that's in a different country. If you're sign in on another device or on a device that is not on a blocked country, you can participate, and then your participation is locked in, even if then you do log onto a device on a country that's back. So this is how the network nervous system works. I wish this tutorial could have been shorter than 40 minutes. That said, there's a ton to cover. This has taken me months of learning and reading. I admit I didn't try and learn it super fast, but I've used this for months. I finally just figured out how to really get your, your maximum staking and voting rewards, the best way to approach this economically, and the way to fully utilize this. And I'm really excited to see where this goes, because these token launches have only been happening less than a year. I mean, in the future, there could be hundreds. There could be hundreds of tokens listed up here. And once you start using this, it's easy to continue using this and to understand how it works and to participate. So I really appreciate you being one of the few people to watch all the way to the end. If you'd like to chat more with me, the best way is to go schedule a call on my website. I am available to talk to you on Zoom anytime with a video call. And then once you schedule a call and I get to know you, then you get lifetime access to continue chatting with me on my Discord server. where you get a community of people who have already had calls with me, and you can talk about whatever you want with me in a call. I'm available to mentor you. I have a wonderful life. Everything in my life works really well. I do work I love and that other people seem to appreciate quite a bit. And I'm happy if you're lonely and you just want to chat for an hour. I'm here. If you want to talk ICP, network nervous system, you want to talk crypto, being a YouTuber, people schedule calls for all kinds of reasons to talk to me. So if you appreciated this, thanks for watching. I got 2 crypto channels and I post on X, and I have a music channel as well. So all of those are on YouTube. This I put for the crypto reviews channel. Then I tried a short today on my main channel, on my main crypto channel. Then I put a music video up on my Jerry Banfield on my main channel. Then all these videos go up on X as well. Shorts, longs, you can get every kind of video on X. And I'm using decentralized social media apps on ICP as well. So there's an abundance of places to follow me if you want more. Thanks for watching, and I'll hopefully be back with a shorter video next time.